Alright. Sorry I'm late, guys. It's been over almost 2 weeks since I last posted. I like making videos. I just try to find the right time to make them. Of course, I'm trying to keep this a secret. But, a lot has happened since the last talk we had. I mean, the whole Misfits 10 card has been announced. Well, not the whole card. October 14th, we know so far KSI is fighting Tommy Fury. And Logan's planning to fight Dylan Dennis. And he has, what's the guy's name? Hakeem Rockman as a backup opponent. So we know that far right now. This past week, what I want to talk about is the press conference. Of course, it was very eventful. Logan brought the cake. John Fury brought the excitement. Oh, I don't know what you call it, but and how? What are my thoughts on it? I think KSI is saving it for the week's press conference. I don't think he just want to go all out just off the jump. I think he's kind of chilling right now. Same with Tommy Fury. Um, Man, what a good press conference though. That was a cool press conference. I liked it. But moving on next. Man, we had so much to change. So many potential people can fight on a prime card because everyone knows it's gonna get a lot of viewership, a lot of pay-per-views. So all the YouTubers and influencers are trying. And as you can see, if I scroll up on my Twitter, man, we got pretty sure we have Jarvis right here. He's calling out Wenderson, Deji, and Austin McBrooms. Salt Poppy, like he's just out there, man. He wants to fight on the prime card. And I think it's so cool. It's so cool that everyone has so many opponents. Like the scene is getting really big. He can choose a lot of people. But man, so excited. I would love to see Jarvis fight maybe. Yes, Austin McBroom. I would love to see that fight or Salt Poppy. But I think I like the McBroom fight because of course there's some little bad blood from Social Gloves 1 and him not getting paid. Or I wonder what the fight talk would be like. What if Jarvis says, "Yo, Austin, if you lose, give me your whole purse. It's gonna be the revenge." You know, that'll be a cool fight. It has a lot of story behind it. And so, Salt Poppy, he's actually was in talks of fighting Slim. Or in my last video, I mentioned one of my previous videos that he could potentially fight Austin McBroom, and I had my interest in that fight. But now it's coming out that allegedly, nothing solid or concrete, but allegedly McBroom is gonna fight the guy Bryce Hall fought on Bare Knuckle, the champion guy. He's in talks to fight him, so I don't know if he's gonna be on Misfits. Even though I'm pretty sure Austin is definitely open to fighting on Misfits, I would like to see him fight on Misfits as well. But we could just cross Austin McBroom out. I don't think he's gonna fight on Misfits this year, maybe next year. The fight with Deji, that's a cool fight, but it just Jarvis coming off the loss. I feel like Deji would want to fight someone who at least have a win under their belt and has recently won to sort of build the fight. I don't think he wants to fight any more debutees or people with a losing. Well, the loss isn't that bad, but I think just better opponents out there for Deji right now. So we can cross him out. Wenderson, I think, of course, everyone knows Wenderson is not dedicated. He's dedicated to other parts of his life, to his entertainment. What else does he do? I think he's like a singer or actor. Pretty sure he's more interested in doing those things instead of the boxing. So for right now, do I think Wenderson is a good opponent for Jarvis? Because we know how the fight is going to go. So I would say no. I would like to see Jarvis fight Austin McBroom out of those people he named. I think Saul probably just a little too much for him right now. He might want to wait on that fight, but I get the idea of him calling out because he want to be a part of history. So on to the next. Got Salt Poppy opponents for Misfits 010, and this is where things gets interesting because apparently maybe the card on September 23rd, Taylor Holder may make his return on Misfits. It's been like 2 years since he fought, so he's a dark horse, man. We don't know what he's been working on in the gym since then. He was supposed to be on Misfits 08, I believe. Yeah. But of course, they kept moving fights around and maybe pushing some fights back. So maybe we can see Salt Poppy Taylor Holder on the prime card. That'll be a cool fight. I mean, I love that fight. And Salt Poppy, man, it was his opponents just keep. You just feel bad for Salt Poppy. I mean, the first guy, Slim, the Hitman, didn't sign a contract. Then you have the next opponent was a great opponent, was gonna bring a lot of viewership. Blueface ends up getting stabbed, man. Wow, it just, come on, man. What can Salt Poppy do now? He has to fight. Literally, I want him to fight an influencer. I don't want him to fight. I don't want them to bring in a debutee for him, someone who just their debut. Cause we got lucky with Tom Zanetti. Not a lot of debuts are gonna bring that sort of entertainment and personality and fight on their first fight. So I don't think another debut can really repeat that. I just think it'll just be a total beatdown. And so probably don't need to fight debuts anymore. He's in an important career. He has a lot of options he's willing to take. I think it's be very smart for him to fight Jarvis, maybe Taylor Holder, maybe King Kenny if he's down. So yeah, he can probably fight him on prime card. Next, we have FaZe Temper. I was just having some thoughts about it since he's apparently making his return on the September 23rd card. I think there's no one in the Misfits or Social Gloves or Social Knockout that's taken 2 knockouts losses, and I think it just makes me more intrigued to see how he comes back from this, because he's gonna make history. He's gonna be the first influencer to come back from that amount of damage. I don't think that many influencers has been knocked out twice. I'm pretty sure it was just one and done from the most of the guys in the scene, especially in the way that he did against Slim, against KSI. Despite his mellowish nature, like the kind of nonchalant nature, I think he has a passion for fighting. Even before, when he first got into boxing in the influencer scene, he called out Jake. He was kind of angry that he was fighting non-boxers or non-influencers. He was kind of had a conflict with that. He didn't like that, so that made him want to get up and fight Jake. So he's definitely wanted to challenge these guys for a while now, and just ever since then, that's all he's been doing. He was taking advantage of these opportunities, even though they didn't end well for him. But you can't knock him from trying. But I hope see him come back strong. I want to see him fight even better than the King Kenny fight that was a year ago, because of course his past fights he's not been able to display his skill. Maybe that's due to a lack of training or wherever his training camp is or his coaches. But now he's back. Seems like he got a good coach by him, professional boxing coach. Yeah, man, I'd love to see him on the next card. I don't know who you should fight, though. It's kind of confusing for me. Dean and Great. It's been dropped from Happy Punch since our last talk. It was basically over Keem's moral code and values that was part of that, because he didn't want Dean loyalty to go to Fusi, because of course Fusi was talking about G7, and G7 was going to be a boxing promotion, and of course you can't have rival boxing promotions and stuff like that. You can't have your fighter talking like he's going to join another promotion. It's like, where's the loyalty? And of course the damage control, probably, because I think pretty sure Keem cares a lot about what the people think in the influencer boxing scene, because of course it's such a ill to take online. You got your own fighter out here talking about he's going to join another promotion, so he just got rid of him. He wasn't even like a break or a pay cut. It was just straight you just out of here. And from what I know, I think Hasim got kicked too. It's kind of crazy, man. He's kicking people. But I hope to see Dean doing his thing. Maybe on the next card, maybe on the prime card. Like, as we all know, he can maybe fight Lee Sharks, or he's maybe can fight Adam Salah. I mean, Mams and KSI follow Adam, so that's a potential matchup. I'd love to see that. But I feel bad for Dean. He's been going through a lot, though. Oh yeah, forgot to mentions. It's been a whole year since the start of Misfits, August 27th. As you know, right now, it's just August 30th, so it was a few days ago The anniversary video was kind of cool, but I wish there was a bit more. Even though this idea, I'm going to tell you, it's going to sound like a weird commercial company type thing, but I think it's a cool idea if they would implement it right. Like have all the fighters who fought on Misfits tell their story, how Misfits helped them do something, or what mindset they grew over the year working with Misfits, or just like kind of like giving Misfits a more personality, because of course it's a business at the end of the day, but there's real people helping real people behind the scenes. And I'd love to see that on the anniversary video, but that didn't happen. It was just a little review of the things we saw on the first event. I want to bring up this fact because I don't think a lot of people remember when Mams tweeted that a big rapper fight was supposedly going to happen on one of the Summer Misfits cards, but it's never been announced. We haven't seen the rapper step in the ring. Saw DDG, but we haven't seen like proper rappers in the Misfits scene. And I love to see it because that's the one audience we haven't touched yet. And what I mean by that is we have MMA fighters. Who else we have? We have TV show people. We had actors. Winterson Nunez. I mean, Winterson Nunez, he's a singer. I don't think he's a rapper really. But two rappers in the same ring fighting. I love to see that. You know what I mean? It's going to be a lot of bragging rights. It's a lot of bragging rights. I would love to see how their career is either benefit or how it goes spirals down after the fight. But we never seen it because with the MMA fighters, it's kind of a good thing because that's the biggest paycheck they ever going to have is find an influencer, weirdly enough. And with the YouTubers, of course, it's kind of predictable how their career is going to be, you know, how it's going to affect their career. But with the rappers, we just haven't seen any yet. And I'm kind of curious, like, who's going to fight? He bigged it up a lot. He hyped it. But it just never came to fruition. And hopefully it can be on the Prime card, maybe the September card, but I doubt that. I think it'll be a pay-per-view card. So yeah, that's there. There's a lot of potential fights on the Prime card. This hasn't been announced yet because I don't think they want to overshadow the September 23rd card. But yeah, I'm just gonna scroll up. It's a lot of news that happened today, actually. There's the moment from a year ago. Then you have that. You have OJ Rose, a little clip. All right. Slim, he wanted to go to other places. He didn't want to. Well, I won't say that. No one knows what Slim is gonna do next. I think the whole dispute that happened between him and Mams and the managers, and the conflict over money. People shouldn't hate Slim. I don't think you should just think he shouldn't fight on Misfits afterwards. It's just like, bro, it just happened, and then they didn't agree. You know, it doesn't have to be bigger than that. He doesn't have to be banned from Misfits or never given a pay-per-view fight, or you know what I mean. What do I think about this fight? I think I'm not gonna give too much because I can make a whole video on the fighting styles and what I've seen when watching these two fighters. I would love to see the fight because the event would be just much bigger, having Gib versus Slim, the battle of the Middle Easterns. Man, Gib and Slim. I just don't think Gib will take the fight. Not yet. Maybe next year, but Gibbs definitely ready mentally, but it probably doesn't make sense in his mind, and him and his managers. But for Slim, that's a big opportunity. I mean, he's waiting for that. So I don't think the fight will happen. He'll be surprised if it really does, because I would know that Gibb literally had to let his standards down, like lower his standards. But then literally 31 minutes ago, while I was thinking about recording this, Kenny posts a little message to Gibb. I'm not gonna play the video because I don't know if it's copyrighted. I don't know how that stuff works yet. But basically, he called out Gibb. Of course, Kingpin finals. It's not happening, of course. Can we really trust Kingpin? No. Because all along, I don't know if many people noticed, but if you were an original subscriber to the Social Star channel, a couple months later, it just changed to Kingpin. And then they come out and say, oh, we're not Social Star. And what? Why is they the same channel? Like, literally one day I went down, look at my subscription box, and I was like, what is this? Kingpin. And then later on, I learned that it was actually going to be a boxing event that has influencers. I'm like, what? There's such a small mistake. How does no one saw it? How did no one mention that? Like, it's just crazy. So the same mess and chaos that Showstar was, of course, it wasn't brought over to Kingpin in the way that it was, but maybe on the backside in terms of managing money and paying the fighters. Misfits is the most stable influencer boxing company. That's the second, whatever you call it, organization company that don't pay their fighters, man. I really don't have to say much about it. We pretty much know how bad it is and how disrespectful it is to the fighters. But yeah, King Kenny calls out Gibb to fight on the Prime card. Gibb turned it down. Kasai responds, said he doesn't want to. He wants them to fight different opponents. He had tweeted that out or responded to a tweet. And then King Kenny, man, I love it, man, because this card can be so big. All the influencers are coming to the surface. You know, they've been training hard and staying away from social media, posting little clips and little sneak peeks, but now everyone's out. So, and King Kenny rarely, calls out opponents, but he was real direct. He was like, Slim, if you want these problems, boy. He said, Slim, we can fight on the Prime card. And I love that fight too. I love that fight. I think that's a good fight for Slim. That's a good fight for King Kenny. I mean, he coming off a great performance against Whindersson Nunes. Who's a tougher fight for Slim? Salt Poppy or King Kenny? I don't know. I don't know. I think Slim. Man, just pick one. Just flip a coin, pick one. So yeah, he called out Slim. He said something about Salt Poppy. He didn't really call him out. He just kind of laughed at him. But maybe, man, Slim, Gibb, or Salt Poppy. Maybe Taylor Holder too. I really want to see Taylor Holder come back and fight one of the top guys, but he probably gonna want a warm-up fight because of what happened last time. So yeah, I think that's pretty much all the news I can cover today. All right, like, subscribe, tell me what you think in the comments down below, and yeah. Peace.